that frustrates me about my dad, huh? Not much. I went to business school, and pretty much everything I learned of value I learned from my dad. So I consider on-the-job training far more instrumental than what I learned at school. And the thing most interesting about this job is that there's always something new every day, and it's also the most frustrating. You know, you've got broken toilets, you have to do janitorial, you're called into work, but that's also the most interesting. It keeps you hopping. And really nothing frustrates me about my dad. He's great to work with, he's great to work for, and he's very patient. So, wow. I don't really think anything. I mean, he loves his town, he donates to everything, he's involved in everything. And really, I can't really think of one thing I'd change about him. He's been a great father. I can remember him taking me to games, and I don't know, always taking me when he worked at the dairy. I remember driving up, well, no, I guess that wasn't the dairy, but I worked at the dairy also when I was 12 years old. But when he first started Westside Pizza, I can remember driving up in a van to Rice, Minnesota in the middle of the night because there was a trucking strike and we couldn't get our product. I don't know, he's been a good father and a good teacher. And yet he was still, like, even though he was busy, he was at every one of our games and, I don't know, very actively involved in our lives. If I had not grown up in this business, what would I have done with my life? I don't know. Initially, when I graduated, I thought my degree's in personnel management, so I thought maybe I would work at some corporation as a personnel manager, and I probably would like that. But when I was in Arizona, I wanted to move back with my family. I missed my family, and I thought I liked this environment growing up, and I wanted my kids to have the same environment. And being in a family business is just kind of a natural. You got to be really incompetent to get fired from a family business. So I feel like I have job security. Would I like my kids to come into business? If it's something that they wanted to do, it's a huge commitment of time. And I know my dad, and both, like when my older kids were younger, I worked a lot more and a lot more hours and was gone a lot of nights. So you have to have a supportive spouse or significant other in order to, handle things at home. And I would only want them to do that if it was something that they wanted to do and were committed to do, because there's a difference between wanting and being committed to do it. I suppose like the way things run or the way they see things run probably looks easy to them because they don't really understand the behind the scenes of everything involved. And there's a lot more involved than just, counting money or even making pizzas or whatever. There's a lot to running the employees and the taxes and everything else you have to do for regulations. And I want them to understand the full involvement necessary. And I also, I can also interfere with families. That's why you need a very supportive spouse or whatever to, hold down the fort while you're gone. You can't run a business and not be there.